The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his third season, Jalen Hurts.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 75 yards. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken from about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out onto the field comes the Colts offense for their first series. And at quarterback, a new name this year to the franchise, of course, but certainly not new to the league. A 15-year vet, former league MVP, Matt Ryan.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in. Really good coverage all over the field and took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also moved the sticks. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how...
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jimmy Moreland. And the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. Escaping the pressure right. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. On 2nd and 15 now. Ryan. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him.
Touchdown, Colts! Paris Campbell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet?
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Flushed out right. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during.
Frank Reich not so sure about that last call. He's going to go ahead and throw out the challenge. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They'll roll him out right. Throw out right, hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown! J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Pulls it in at the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Campbell making the catch. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Josh Sweat coming in strong and dropping him behind the line of scrimmage. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Ryan. Able to get away. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That sack backs Ryan and the Colts up a bit here, facing a 3rd and long. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Got an open man, it's QT. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep, Danny Amendola. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here's Hurts to throw. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Hurts sets up to throw it. This pass outright to Arcega-Whiteside. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Here's Ryan to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Now these two teams, the Eagles and Colts, the 2 best rushing teams in the NFL in 2021 a season ago. The Eagles, maybe a surprise to many that they were #1 last year. Of course, they got a lot of rushing yards from their quarterback that helped them. And the Colts, with Jonathan Taylor, they were #2.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Here comes Amendola. A good return there, 17 yards.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Hurts.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On the move past the 40. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30.
A big play there for Philly. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this 1st down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts.
This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown!
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside
on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the route is on here in this first half. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And the Colts coming out now. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Open man is QT, complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw is Ryan. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this
touchdown, Eagles. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy. Throwing on 2nd and long. Ryan. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Here's Rigoberto Sanchez on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Amendola set to return it. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We start down in the Lone Star State. Washington's used to traveling down to face the Cowboys, but this week they face the other Texas team in Houston. And it's the visiting side who have the lead in that one. Curtis Samuel, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Buffalo to check on what's happening with the Bills at Highmark Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. Pulls it in at the 13. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Meanwhile, Ryan's throw hauled in by QT here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On first down, Ryan. And that's caught left side by Mo Alley Cox. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right. And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review with that last play. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
You remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts.
57, Mike, 57.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Ryan will throw again. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So here are the Eagles to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. Sliding out of the pocket. That's going to be caught. Arcega-Whiteside. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here. He'll look to throw. This will be caught. It's Arcega-Whiteside. Touchdown! J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 37 yards. And the Eagles have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Hurts will throw. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit. But going for 2 in this situation, Somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On third down, Ryan. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Up the middle, and it's out. He put it on the carpet.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Here's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Able to force him out of the pocket right, but still able to complete it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. From the 35 on 2nd down, Hurts. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for him.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with career touchdown number 96. He joins Eric Dickerson on the all-time list. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes has a way of catching up with you.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd and 6, Ryan. Forced out to his left, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Fletcher Cox never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. Now that sack backs Ryan and the Colts up a bit here, facing a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Brandon Graham, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at about the 14. A solid 12-yard return after the 55-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Throwing again, Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kaiser White. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want to So the challenge there unsuccessful, and that means that he'll be out of challenges for the remainder of this ball game. But first down, Hurts. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Sanders is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and is showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Throwing on second and long. Ryan throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway, Con.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score Might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days. Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for it.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now Ryan on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
It fights him off, being chased out left. And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. They'll roll him out right to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Eagles, they keep on rolling 10-0 now.
to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. So for our entire